right now. And here, what we're going to learn by the end of this particular topic, we should be able to assess the market for our business. We'll be able to determine what type of market access we have for our business. We'll be able to create linkages for our business, participate in business cooperative, manage customer loyalty in our business. Let's look through this. And I know that most of these things have been taught in the various sections, because I went through the various sections where we are personalizing, putting it to a particular business that we are doing. For those in poultry, those in aquaculture, those in crop, those in agro, we try to personalize this, how you can really get access, and those that are in the general format. But however, we're going to see it in a holistic form to know the general rules governing what we need to do when we need to access markets. Now, what is market access? When this term is used, before now, people always look at it, oh, we want to look at the international markets, how you want to get your product or service recognized at the international level. But today, we no longer use it only for the international market. You can use it for both international markets and as well the local markets. So you are looking at market access, you are looking at your product, the acceptability of your product to the consumers. How acceptable is your product? How acceptable is your service that you want to provide to the consumer? And how well can you reach out to sell your product or your service? Because right now we want to obtain loan. Yes, some of us already have an existing business that we want to grow. Have we taken time to find out our patronage we'll be receiving? And to find out that patronage, is it high enough? And if it isn't, what has been affecting it? Could it be that it doesn't have much acceptability from the consumers, especially if you are into production? Maybe what you are marketing is your personal product, or what you are providing is service. And if it is service, have you taken time to actually evaluate yourself even before going for this loan, to know exactly where you'll be doing well and where you have not been doing too well, where are the challenges? Because this will help you have a better plan and a better business model. Because like we were told yesterday, you need your business plan, you need your business model. The business model will help you chart how you want to really operate. But the business plan will give you a guide, a blueprint of what that you need, including the monetary value. And that is why most times you see when a question is asked, especially for the starters, what do you say? Oh, I don't have money. If I have money, in fact, I can do so many business. Money is the issue. And the answer I usually give, that money is not the problem, because sometimes you may be giving money and that money, you may not be able to utilize it well. One of the reasons is that you may have the product, somebody may even give you the product and you don't even have market for it. So you must find out the acceptability. And in this instance too, for those of us that are going to provide service, maybe through buying, selling, or you are into the agro business, before you choose the type of agro business or agro dealer you want to go into, you must find out the acceptability of that product. Because if the product you want to market is not fully acceptable, it may affect your business. You may go in, stock your shop with products that might not be acceptable, or that you'll be having a low patronage. And once there is a low patronage, it will affect the rate of return. And when the rate of return is affected, it will affect your profits. Now, how well will your product or service be accepted? Not only just consumers now, generally at the national level and at the international levels. we have seen a lot of products, especially here in Nigeria. The products are quite acceptable within the consumers here. But you always hear, oh, it did not meet international standard. And when that it did not meet international standard comes in, it does affect your market. It does affect what you would have been doing. Therefore, at this point in time, you need to choose. The business I'm going to, do I want to localize it, or I am taking it to a level through which I will go beyond the shore, go beyond the region where I am operating right now. So if your focus is Nigeria, fine, like we have learned in most of the things we've been told. Now study the market trend in Nigeria and find out whether that product you want to bring out or the service you want to provide, whether it will be acceptable and the level of acceptance that is going to receive. Now, if you are working towards the international level, find out whether that product is actually in need or service at the international level. And even at the international level, remember, it is broad when we use the word international. You might be targeting a particular country outside Nigeria, or you have 2, 3 countries. There is no way you can target the whole world. It's not possible. So if you are starting a market and you want to bring out your service or your product, first is that you have a particular customer, particular range of people you want to target to find out if they are going to accept your product. And at the same time, you're going to find out what is the competitive service or product that is already in place, because that is going to compete with what you want to provide. Now, the next thing we need to know after this is trying to find out the rules and regulations guiding the market access. Because in every market, in every locality, there are rules and regulations. A product you want to market here in Nigeria that may do so well, if you want to send it offshore, maybe to Ghana, to UK, it will have to go with another rules and regulation. So before you move on into any form of international trade, find out the terms and conditions of a country, of that particular country, where you want to provide the service or where you want to sell your goods. In Nigeria here, there are terms and conditions governing what we do, what we sell, what is consumed, services you want to provide. So for you to get this done, you must get to know the right agencies that are handling such. Like here in Nigeria, we'll talk about NAFDAC, you hear some, that are going to actually approve, test what you have to say, yes, your good or your good is fit for consumption or not. And when it comes to service, there are still other bodies that will guide that. And when it comes to you floating your business, there are bodies you need to register with. Apart from your getting your CAC form, you may still need to go to some other, so you must know the regulatory body in the business that you want to go into. Then you must know the tariff goods and the non-tariff goods, the regulation that is being provided in all the services. So you don't just go into it, it's when you're already at the midst of it, you discover, oh, the tariff that they are charging on this good is so high and it's going to eat up my finance. And that is why, if you look at the business plan templates that NISA is using, the one that we walked through yesterday, you discover that they try to assist by bringing up all these little things so that every money you want to expend, you would have taken note of it to help you find out. And some places, they run into serious issue because they will have stocked some products that are not allowed on their shelf. And when the regulatory bodies are moving around, they find some products on your shelf, then you are arrested, then at the end, you end up spending a lot of money. And for those of us yesterday, I knew somebody was asking about pharmaceutical shop. You are setting up a pharmaceutical shop. Have you met with the regulatory body, what they required? You must meet with the regulation and meet the requirement of the regulatory body. There is a benchmark. So you must meet their requirement before you come up to set up such. Now, identify the regulatory bodies and the requirements, which is very key. Every kind of business or service have their regulatory body. When I was going through the introduction, I saw some people, they want to set up a school. When you want to set up a school, have you gone to check what the regulatory body requires in setting up that school? Because there are few changes from state to state. There is a federal requirement. There are some states too, they have their own requirements. You are setting up a crèche, primary school, secondary school. There's diameters that you need to meet, because if you are setting up a school, meeting the standard gives you less stress when it is time for them to evaluate what you are doing. Because in a school system, there is a dimension that is being given for the classroom size. Where a student will sit, there is a diameter that is being given, the meter that you must maintain between the student's sitting position. Because all these are usually not met, especially in most private schools. That is why you see them running helter-skelter all the time. They are doing settling, back settling, and on the long run, it eats into your business. So you need to find out all this before you go into that business or you start providing such services. Because you that is going into teaching, you want to set up a school, you are providing service. You that want to set up something, maybe a law firm, you are providing service. You want to set up something medical, health, you are providing service. You that want to set up a pharmaceutical shop, you are providing service. You are not into production. And for those of us that want to go into making of soap, or maybe you want to go into production of poultry, feeds, and other, that is production. So you must find out what is the requirement. Some of us may even want to go into production of fertilizers. There are regulations following what the composition of the fertilizer must be. So you must identify the regulatory bodies and the requirements of the product you are going into. Now, the international trade itself, we have some things we need to know. First and foremost, it takes place under the surveillance of two different governments. So if you are going to an international trade, I want to have my trade here in Nigeria, and possibly I want to set up in Cameroon. What you have here is different from the regulation they may have put in place in Cameroon. So you must go and get the regulation of what they put in place in Cameroon, because the government of Nigeria is different from the government of Cameroon. Yes, they belong to the same region, but however, they don't operate exactly the same way. Or Ghana, that is even close to us, they don't behave exactly the same way. So therefore, you must find out what you want to go into, understand what is happening in the other country before you go into such things. Now, we also, the good to be imported, if you have to import goods, need to show some potentials to be able to survive the sensitivity and political strategies in the domestic field. How does this work? Remember, if you have some products here and you want to start your international trade, you want to start exporting them out. So the people that you are exporting it to is going to be an imported good for them. Before they will accept your product in to be consumed by their persons, by their citizens, they want to be sure that it will meet with what they have there. So in this regard, sometimes your good would have been very okay, but there are some things you need to go and find out. There might be some things that are quite sensitive there, that right here in the country where you are, it is not really be considered as anything very useful or important. But there, it is considered as a grievous thing. The same thing, if you are an importer, you have something you want to bring into this country. Where you are, maybe you are bringing it from Australia. In Australia, that thing may be well accepted, but coming to Nigeria may not be totally accepted. So you must understand the different mechanism, the different regulation, and the different sensitivity in the area of the product or service you want to provide. Then you now come into the political strategies, because every country has its own politics. They play their politics differently. There is no country that doesn't have a political strategy, or that do not allow their politics affect the economic goods that are coming in, or economic service that are coming in into the country. So you must be able to have access and understand. And how do you start this? If you know that you have interest in having a business with a particular country, start reading things about that country. Start listening to news about that country. Do some research about that country. Do some research on everything that is going on in that country, even in the area of trade. Carry out research, because that will help you to have a ground, to know their loopholes, to know how you want to operate, and be able to meet up with that strategy. Then their domestic field. If, for example, right now, right here in Nigeria, what we call fufu is well accepted over here. But if you are taking it outside the country, it means you must target a place within maybe where the Nigerians are living, where Africans are staying, to be able to sell such goods. So you must have a good grip of this. Then another thing we need to know, market access and free trade. They are not the same. Sometimes you find some of us, we use them interchangeably. But I tell you, they are not the same. Because when you are talking about market access, like what I said during my introduction, with market access, you have some quotas, you have some tariffs, you have some duties you're going to pay, because you are the one that want to access market. You are the one looking for customers. But when it comes to free trade, there are some goods, by the agreement of the different countries, governments in different countries, they will agree that for these goods, we are going to allow free movement of these goods. And they're going to relieve tariff from it, duties, stamp duties and others, they will release it from it, because they would have agreed as a government, we have seen this good, we have seen this service, is going to help both government. And such goods may not be harmful. And again, sometimes some of such goods might be something that it is required in every home. And if such agreement is there, you can now have a free trade. You have been agitating this in the West African zone. They've been working on having a free trade, whereby you can bring your goods from one region to the other within the same West African zone. But however, you see that you must find out the goods you want to work on, that you are interested in, the service you want to provide. Does it fall into the free trade, or it fall into the market access? And I know right here in Nigeria, there are some goods that are allowed on a free trade. There are even on the pharmaceutical brands, there are some kind of drugs they allow on the free trade, because they feel it is needed, it's something that is useful, and the rest of them. But there are some, you don't allow it. You have to tax it. There was a time up to Matchbox, bottled water, people were happily importing it into this country, Nigeria. When their children wants to get married, they will happily tell you, everything there was imported, up to bottled water. But you see that the federal government have taken a stand to make sure that such things do not come in. And one of the ways you can take such stand is to put very high tariff. That even there was anybody that wants to go into it as a business, at the time you consider the tariff you're going to pay, you may not be able to even continue with it. You withdraw from it. Like, I remember the experience when I went to Singapore. We are finding out, because I was asking them, you are few in number, but how are you able to manage the small space you have, manage the traffic? And what we are told with the tour guide is that they have already marked from the beginning the number of cars that can enter that country in a year. And what they do is to put a very high tariff. At the same time, I went on and asked them about school system, because I discovered there, private school doesn't really sell there much. It's government school. So what they did was to make sure that the tariff they put on setting up private school is so high. And the fee in private school is so high. So with that, you find almost everyone sending his or her child to the general school system. And they put a principle in place to ensure that even as children, you are in that same school, you don't have any opportunity to show affluence. So even if you have money in the aspect of car, you have the money, and the number of cars they need for that year has already come in, you cannot buy a car. So your money will just be with you. So with that, they're able to reduce corruption. So each government will always look out for how they can control certain things in their environment. So if now you want to come up and you want to start selling car, and you want to be exporting car to a place like that, you see that it's already a restriction for you in the market. Because once you get to the number of cars that can come into the country, you will no longer be able to sell. So these are issues that we need to consider when you are looking at free trade and free access. Now, I want to leave us to ask questions before we continue. Share your experience. For those of us that are already in business, I want to hear from you how you were able to penetrate your market. Where you were starting, how did you penetrate markets? And for those that are just coming in, how do you intend to penetrate your market? Questions? You can send it through chat. You can send your question through chat. I need your contribution. The moderator, please, can you just unmute randomly 1 or 2 persons? Just call on somebody and unmute. I want to hear their experience. Is the moderator in the house?
Yes, ma'am, in the house. I'm trying to unmute them.
Not just unmute
Mr.
one person.
Abi,
Call the person,
yes.
or mute the person. Let them ask questions or contribute.
Faith Jeffrey. Faith Jeffrey. Faith
Jeffrey, we want to hear your own view. If you have been in business, let us know, and how you were able to assess your market nationally or internationally. And if you are just setting up, how do you intend to assess your market?
Faith Jeffrey. Faith Jeffrey, can you hear us?
Ma,
okay,
good morning,
you can speak.
Yes, yes, ma. Good morning, ma. Thanks so much for the lectures, ma. I am grateful. Yes, ma. So the little, let me say, my little contribution as regarding businesses from my little experience is that no matter how little you start, be persistent and always have a rule. Lay down a rule by yourself and stand by it. It matters. That is what I've experienced so far, and it's been working for me.
So how did you assess your market? What do you do? Can you tell us briefly what you do? Share with us.
Yes, ma. I'm into importation right now.
Importation of what?
I started little, very little. Importation of clothing, kitchen utensils, and so many the things I know that we sell. There, I do market research. I'm always online, but I make sure that at the end of every day, the data I use online, I make it back, no matter how small. So what I do is I take my time to do research online. I pay too. I attend business seminars to refresh my brain from time to time. So I do the mini importation. I market it online. I have groups on WhatsApp. I have pages on Facebook. I have page on Instagram. I even have a group too on Facebook where I meet people. I have a Telegraph page where I coach people. So at the end of it, you see that some people start indicating interest.
Very
Like
much
this
for sharing your
online, this meeting in
experience.
my house. I call it a show, but
Thank you so much. And one thing I would like
like
you
a
to do,
warehouse.
have you
Yes,
ever
ma'am.
taken time
Thank you,
to
ma'am.
find out where you get more patronage, whether it is through this media you are using or those that are coming to you physically? I can leave that to you. Somebody equally shared here that she started by selling to friends and family members. And that was a good one because you must always look for your market access. Sometimes, even some of us that want to take this money, some of us,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
are already, yes, we want to take it, but we are not too sure. We still have small fear within us. Hey, if this thing should fail, you must have a place to start. Please,
Yes,
moderator, can you unmute Mr. Linus Igwe? Because I noticed he has been following all our teachings. I want him to speak. Share your experience with us, Mr. Linus Igwe.
Okay, ma. Trying to. Mr. Linus Igwe. Mr. Linus Igwe, you can speak.
He has not been unmuted.
He is.
Okay.
Mr. Linus Igwe.
Yes. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, the moderator.
Good morning.
I been unmuted, ma'am, just now. Moderator. I thank you for the opportunity. I started a table water business. Are you hearing me, please?
Yes,
please,
yes,
if
we
you
can
can
hear
make
you.
your voice a little bit louder, we appreciate it.
Hello?
Hello,
Hello,
can
are
you
you
make
hearing
your
me?
voice a little bit louder, please?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. So I'm saying I started by running a promo to test. I started testing the market by running a promo with a reduced cost. This promo lasted for like 3 days. Then allowed people to buy my own product within that period better than others because I sold at a reduced cost. After the 3 days, I now gradually went back to the original price, and because of that, I captured a lot of people who now use my product, which I equally made sure that purifies water better than others on the market, and it has been very useful.
Thank you very much. From the time you started, Mr. Igwe, up to now, can you say that you have had a successive increase in your profit making?
Increase, yes.
How long did it take you to break your even?
More than what it was. It goes gradually.
How long did it take you to break your even? Months. Okay, that is good.
3 months.
And
3 months.
do you have the intention of going beyond Nigeria with your table water?
That is not in the plan now. I want to capture the local market first.
Thank you. So what you need to do now is to work on your market access that will be able to compete. That means your table water should compete with Nestle water, because those are the popular kind of bottled water people go for. Compete with
Yes, exactly.
seaway water and the rest. So you have to start mapping out strategy. Because if you want to give anybody water at a very high level, maybe like Aso Rock, oh, they want to get me next to, or Seaway, or those are the ones they believe in. So your focus now,
Yes.
because you already have a market you need to compete with, so you must be able to have a buy-in
Yes.
of your customers. Okay, let's continue as we proceed. Now, the next thing we want to look at is business leakages. We want to look at business leakages. When you're talking about business, we're looking at a technique that you can use to grow your business. And when you are into business, look at two things all the time. One, you want to grow. Secondly, look for people too that you can help to raise up in your business. Because at the moment you are helping to raise up others, you will be learning more. There is no way they will even catch up with you, because what you have is in you, is in you. You always have your market secrets. Because some persons, they run away from either being mentored or mentor others, because they feel in the process of mentoring, they are going to devote their own idea or their own secret. No, it doesn't follow. Keep your secret to yourself. But there are a lot of things general that you will be shared. Like those of us that have been with us all this while since Monday, you see that the facilitators, most of them have used their own life practice to share with you, to share experience with you. Those in the farm, they use their farm to share their experience with you. Like those in poultry, I could see Mr. Akinfish using his own poultry, the fishing farm, using his own fish, the aquaculture, to demonstrate to us. There are those in poultry, the same thing happened and the like. So if you are in business, you must look for somebody you can link up with. You must look for somebody that help you grow your business. Everything is not money. Everything is not money. You must have somebody you will watch. I know before now, that is why our brothers from the East, they so much believe in this apprenticeship. If you want to learn a trade, they enroll you, you go into apprenticeship for a while before they will not set you up. Fine. But even if you don't have that to go into apprenticeship, you should have somebody you look up to say, I want to learn from this. Mr. Igwe, if you may permit me to use your example, you are into bottled water. Already you know there is Nestle you need to compete with. This is water that people see as number one, number two among the first grades in the country. Nothing wrong if you go closer to study. Why is this water like this? Sometimes you might even meet with the people, the distributors, and they will tell you, oh, this is what the customer says about our water, and the rest of them. You must learn something. And sometimes, yes, you have the money. Now you have money, you have all the assets that you need, but you must again be able to find, how will I manage this? Sometimes you may not be able to get through until you have somebody to learn from. So there are different methods we can do this. How do you start your leakage system? How do you link people that you have network, have somebody that you can relate with, that can tutor you or that you can tutor? First and foremost, let's look at whom you can learn from. Identify your value. Let me use this as an example. It's like friendship. If you discover friendship that lasts, find out among those friends, each of them has a value to give. If one is the only one that is giving out that value, the other one is a parasite. After some time, that friendship will not last. This has nothing to do with the amount of money you have. That is why sometimes you see a man, now in quote, you call a very wealthy man, big man, is having somebody who is a gardener as a friend. And you might be wondering, why is this man so rich? And we call this person is my friend. If you go in between, you discover that that gardener, yes, he's a gardener. Other people may be seeing him as a nobody person, but there might be a value that is given to that rich man. And because of that, their friendship will last. Yes, when it comes to the monetary value, you may not be able to render it, but there might be a value that is rendered to that man. So the first thing you need to do for you to have a proper link is identify your own value. What is that value that is in you that you know from your business now that somebody can gain from? If you cannot identify a value in your business line, then you have to need a rethink. Maybe you are not fit to run that business. I'm sorry. You must have a value you want to give out. Now identify your missing value. That is where you have your challenges. Yes, I have this value. And permit me also, Mr. Igwe, to still use you as an example. Mr. Igwe is into table water business. Now he has been able to come up with a clean water, well filtered. But what is still struggling with maybe packaging. Maybe the packaging is not fit enough, but he has the technique that water filtration, anybody that takes it is tasted natural and the person wants to buy that water. But somehow the packaging is what is putting people off. Now you can look for someone who is into packaging business, because that is what is missing. What you now be identifying, which is the third one, identify the source you can find help to fill that missing value. You know that if that packaging is right, it will help to promote and increase your sales. So therefore, the packaging is missing. You are now going to look out for who will help me with adequate packaging. There are so many companies that are doing packaging. But however, you need to identify one that will suit what you need. Once that you have been able to identify, create relationship. Now, you may ask me, where do I identify them? You can Google, you will see. Attend workshops, attend trainings. If you see any reasonable workshop, attend. Like this one we are having now, this program we are having now, this training, we'll also take a quiz. I want to find out the link you have made, because don't forget, among you here, you can have a good network that will make your business to blossom. So when you get to any training or a workshop, think outside the workshop. Sometimes you might even be in a party and the person that is sitting right with you on the same table, engage the person in a discussion and find out what the person does. Don't be so surprised. Your linkage might start from there, that you have your link right from there. So think of any avenue where you can have social interaction, then you can create your link. Create a relationship. It could be attending seminar, workshop, training, and etc. Now share your value. When you meet, start with what you can do. Start with what you can offer. And in the process of communication, don't be so surprised. The person, oh, do you know that we've just been looking for somebody that has this? Oh, is that so? Oh, you do this. Even me, I've been looking for this. Okay, can we go into this? Then from there, if you want to go into MOU, fine, you cannot go further, have MOU. If it is something you want to do, but one thing is that if you are going into a serious networking, you must have a document to back it up that will define what each person is going to provide. Let me tell you, at the time you get into that process of documentation, if your partner discovers that you have no value to provide, it will tactfully withdraw from you. This one is different from someone willing to sponsor your business. Someone willing to invest into your business is different. When you are going into networking, linkages, you must gain from one another. And if you have no value to share, then it will not help. So that is it. Define your terms of what each one has. Now, I want us to do this. I'm going to pause. And I'm going to give us a, please, Sanusi Sadiq, can you tell us why you joined cooperative society? That cooperative society you are into, why did you join it? You said you are into you joined a cooperative society. Why did you join that society?
I joined the cooperative society to assist each other.
How do you normally get that assistance?
Yes, I do assist some, and I do benefit from it because we join together and sharing ideas and assist financially. And
please, can you give us one way where you have benefited for that cooperative society? Just one thing you have benefited.
I was attacked by robbers one day, so our members assist me with medical issues, medical charges.
I didn't get you well. Does it mean that if anyone has any medical issue, then the members will come around and assist that person? Is that all you do?
Yeah, that is what I benefit on. We do many things. We have assist ourselves in different operations,
I want
different
to
issues.
get that hello, sir. I want to get that assistant clearly. Is it that they will just give you money free of charge, or they?
Yes, ma'am.
They took you to hospital, treated you free of charge. What kind of assistance? We want it to be clear.
They are the ones who give me the first time. They are the ones who carry me to the hospital and pay the first charges.
Okay. So on your own part, what do you contribute to the cooperative?
Well, there is some money normally contribute every week, and if there is something happening, we join together to do the work together. And if someone needs assistance financially, through the amount we are saving every week, they'll take the money and assist one of the members. And we do.
Okay, that means do you pay any interest do you pay any interest or only the principal?
Yeah, sometimes we use the money to invest into
okay,
the
your network is a little bit poor. Thank you. Please, can you unmute Kalu Awa? Kalu Awa, please, can you share with us why you joined the cooperative society you are into and what you are gaining from them? And what is your contribution there? Kalu Awa.
Okay. Please, Mr. Carlo Awa, please unmute yourself. Okay, you can go ahead and speak.
Yeah. Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
As a matter of fact, the genesis of cooperative movement called Club 20, the Professional Cooperative Society, is based in Abia State. We have run a club for over 20 years. And over this period, it has always been socialization, partying, get together. So we decided to find a way as a group who can help each other. So we registered the cooperative with the state government. And we subscribed to the shares. The paid up capital, there was 10 million. Each of us subscribed. And we're also making monthly savings. So at any point in time, you're free to pick up as much as 3 times your savings. If you want to use it for any purpose at a very minimal interest, I think 5%, based on the terms of the movement. So that is number one. And number two, we have a farm we have collectively decided to run. And interestingly, that is one of the reasons I am interested in the agri training, in this CBN Nassau training, because I want to now veer off and see how much I can go about running a poultry farm. So I see it as a collective platform on which individuals who have needs can be sorted out. So I joined because there are certain things I cannot go alone, which as a group I can be assisted. And moreover, the state government is also about assisting us in the agro business. I don't know whether that
Thank
makes
you.
any sense.
Thank you very much, sir. Before we continue, Mr. I don't know who this person, Aminat. Sorry, this is not where you introduce yourself. This is a chat. Introducing yourself here, people will not get to meet you after this class. What you need to do, go to the platform where you have your course, where you have the link, where you normally log in to join these sections. There you will see a space there, say put there, meet one another. Click on it and introduce yourself there. That is where people can meet you and locate you and find out what you do. Now, having said that, I want to quickly ask this again. I have Stella Dixon. Please, can you help me unmute Stella Dixon? Is she saying that, okay, let's use Joseph Beatrice, sorry. Unmute Joseph Beatrice. Why are you not in any cooperative? I want to hear your view. Why you didn't join any cooperative? Joseph Beatrice.
Joseph Beatrice, please unmute yourself. You can speak now. Joseph Beatrice, you can speak now. Hello, Joseph Beatrice.
Okay, let's take Zachary Gaba. Zachary Gaba is the same question that is coming to you. Why did you not join any cooperative?
Zachary Garba, please unmute yourself. Zachary Garba. Zachary Garba.
Okay, Zachary is not unmuting. Okay, who wants to share among those people that said, because I have some people here, a few persons that said, well, I'm not in any cooperative. Who is willing to share, to tell us, raise up your electronic hand. To raise your hand, click on the participants.
Okay, ma'am. There's Helen Achebe. Okay. Helen Achebe.
Oh, yeah, Helen Achebe, you have the floor. Share with us. Why did you not join any cooperative?
Helen Achebe.
Okay, let's move on. Now, thank you for those of you that have shared your idea. But I have this to say. From the idea that was shared, you discover that most of the things we shared with, we go there, we take some money, then you have 5% or thereabout percentage, you pay back. And you are limited with what you can pay back or what you can take. You are limited. And do you know that you can use cooperative to start up a business? Because there are different forms of cooperative. The one we are used to mostly, I am into a cooperative, one of the cooperatives too, my university cooperative. But you discover that most cases, what we do, oh, you want to borrow money, you want to save money, we'll give you this percentage. You can take ×2 of what your saving is. Then at the end, you pay over time. Okay, we can give you long-term, short-term loan, and the rest of them. But when it comes to business, cooperative goes beyond that. And we actually start the word cooperative from the onset, whereby you have people that are having the same interests coming together. And if you have people of the same interest coming together, it was a great deal in setting up business. And how will this go? How will this go if you have such people coming together, having the same mindset. You want to work together. There are a lot of things you could gain in such cooperative. This one is different from the popular cooperative we are used to. That, okay, because we are a cooperative member, come and take this loan. Or some of us in some cooperative, they open a shop. And that shop is not even limited to only the cooperators. You come in, buy, we want to make more money. Then at the end of the year or a particular time you agreed on, you share your dividends. Fine. But at a startup or even at the point of growing business, you can have cooperative. This is the aspect that is not so common with us. And what do you need to do? Ownership in business, in cooperative, when you are looking at cooperative and ownership in business, there are two different things. Ownership in business is based on the percentage of the business a person owns. But if you are coming together as cooperators for business, let's assume now, I'll see some people here now say, oh, I'm into fashion. I make dresses. And to do that, if you need industrial machines, it's going to cost you money for only you to get all those big industrial machines that you can produce about 100 dresses of the same type in a day. It's going to cost you money. Now, you can have a cooperative. All this association we are forming, you can turn into a cooperative, well-formed cooperative, that you pull your money together, pull your risk together, and you'll be able to acquire those machines. And everywhere we work, because that is where you see sometimes when we look at those people in abroad, they don't work individually most times. But here, the business we do here, everybody want to do, I want to do my own all by myself. I want to do my own all by myself. All by myself, all by myself, limit the level of growth that one has. Because at the time you are doing everything all by yourself, it limits your level of growth in business. So when you are looking at business ownership, is different from when you are having ownership in cooperative. Ownership in cooperative is based on equity contribution or how much of the product or service the member purchases. So in this regard, you pull your money together, you set up, let me use, like yesterday in one of the sessions, I think that was, it was at Agro now or Crop, I can't remember, one of the sessions. He was mentioning the amount they will need to buy
Hello. Hello, everyone. Please, if you can hear me, just hold on a while. I think there's a little network issue from the director's side. So please just hold on. If you can hear me, I hope you have all signed in. You have all marked your attendance for today. Okay. If you have marked your attendance for today, don't forget that the day 1, day 2, day 3 facilitations are recorded and they are online on the platform. So kindly go there. If you have not started studying, go there and start studying. For you to mark your attendance, you have to go to the platform. There's a corner. If you look up, you see where they wrote attendance. You click there each day. So let's hold on a while for the director to rectify the network issue from her side. Someone is still asking how to mark attendance. I already said it. It's on the platform. It's on the platform. When you log in, you see on the top, I think, there's somewhere they wrote attendance. You click there, there'll be a drop down for you to now mark each day that you came. But I learned after 24 hours, it will not be active again. So if you did not mark the whole of yesterday and you try to mark today and it's not active, it means 24 hours has gone and you cannot mark. But for today, please mark your attendance before you leave. We're still waiting for the director to fix the network issue from her side. Okay. I think she's back. Hello, ma. I've unmuted you, please. You can unmute from your side. I've unmuted you. Okay, you can go ahead and speak, ma.
It's the internet that went off.
Yes. Ma, your screen is still frozen.
Sorry about that. Plan to ensure that you are able to link up with those people that have like minds. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Can you hear
yes,
me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. So like I was saying, people are really skeptical because you don't know who is the other person. But there are processes you need to take that can bring in what do you stand to gain or benefit when you have a cooperative, you join such business cooperative. You see, as a cooperator, you have more benefit as a member rather than just to earn profit for investors. Because you have a lot of benefits that will come to you. I know most of us, we are happy when we have given 2 years, we are giving 3 years to pay back with interest. Some even charge up to 7% and more. You are happy, but we can get more if you join a business cooperative. Enjoy the benefit of group purchasing. That is the real thing you enjoy. You have a group purchase, you'll be able to pull your risk together. If peradventure, maybe the business happen to encounter some challenges, you won't share it alone. It will be shared across the board because you all put your resources together. And the empowerment of owning and controlling the organization. You have a say there, just like the other person has a say. It's different from when somebody invests into your business. Let me even talk about the loan we want to take now. We have an extent to which we can speak about the loan because you must dance to the tune and the dictates of the people that want to invest in your business. Then, thirdly, it provides competition because at the time you are having this, you might decide to say, okay, for this cooperative, for people that are able to get these goods up to this number, you will have this in addiction. And you sell to yourself, you carry, you go and sell. And if you're a part of that cooperative, it's likely you may not even have money to drop. But you have come in, you have a value that you are going to share with them. And what is this value? You are a good marketer. That when you carry the products that are there, you can have, and it will increase your bargaining power when you are buying from people or when those people want to buy from you. It will expand a new and existing market for you. You will expand your new market, even an existing market, it can expand it for you. You can grow. From cooperative, you have come together starting point as co-cooperators. At a point, you can have enough money that you now start your own. It's not compulsory you must be there all the time. At a point, you can take off your shares, sell off your shares. This is how some cooperative runs. Like now, if you want to buy a phone, for example, maybe you deal on this popular phone you want to deal on. If you are into a cooperative that deals on that, they could say, well, if you are not part of our cooperative, you can't buy this from our shop. And you will sell at a lesser price because these people have put their resources together. You will be able to have a bulk of it from the manufacturers and it comes to you. So you are now wholesaler. As a wholesaler, for you to retail, it is you that is part of the cooperative society.
Hello, if I guess you can all hear me. Please, let's
That
just
can carry that goods
okay.
out where you are setting up cooperative. Any problem?
Yes, you went off, ma.
Sorry, it's the internet that is
it's breaking. It comes on and goes off.
The other one. Is the other one back? Okay, let me see if I can switch internet again. It's like the other one is good.
Yes, we can see you now. We can hear you. Please just bear with us, please. Please, ma, unmute yourself. Okay.
Please, for now, I think what I will do, I'm going to put off my video to reduce so you might not be seeing my face. Just permit me, let me put off my video so that it will reduce the bandwidth. Sorry, is the network. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, ma.
Okay, I've put off my videos to reduce it because the thing is started misbehaving. So sorry about that break in transmission. So what I was saying is that in this regard, if you discover that you're able to pull your resources together, I was citing an example with Apple product, and if you have a cooperative of such coming together to sell your product as using it, it's only those of you that have access to the market that can purchase it. Now, let us see the challenges, because usually there are challenges too when it comes to cooperative, where you are having market or business cooperative. One of such challenges is financing. In the area of finance, like I did mention, one, you want to find out, okay, how am I sure this place is secured for me to invest my money? How am I sure that my money will not just go just like that? Then how the capability of those that are coming in. Again, sometimes those people that are interested, that want to put their resources together, may not even have enough that will actually cover what they need to cover. So that is one of the problems that you usually encounter when it comes to cooperative. But if you are able to come together and choose a line of business that you know that the money you are pulling together will be able to sustain it, then you are free to go into it. But you must consider what you want to do before you jump into coming together to form such cooperative society. Then you have longer decision-making process. You know, because every person's money is involved. If you are 50 in number that are members of that cooperative, if you want to take decision, the whole 50 must be involved. And if anyone is missing during that decision taking, there will be problem. So because of that, you see that you take a longer time to discuss and agree on what you want to do. And sometimes some people want to avoid this. But I tell you, if you have a formidable cooperative, it's not a really big thing. You will see soon what you accumulate. Most times too, most people that form cooperative, that come together, they lack the business and we find in our organizations. You see that? That is why sometimes you see some cooperative if they run into a problem, invest your money that you will not even have money to sustain the cooperative. So this is another issue that normally come up. And how do you solve? I decide in agreement, look for help you develop the business idea that will drive that cooperative. And in this wise, before you go into running the cooperative, we'll see it soon, your business plan must be ready. Yes, you are pulling your resources together. That doesn't mean you will not have a business plan. You are 50 in number, you are 100 in number, you are 300 in number, pulling your resources together. You must have one business plan that will come up to say, this is how we want to run it. So even when you want to go and seek for loan, as that member of cooperative, as a body, you cannot come up to seek for your loan. Then lack of interest. There are times you see some members losing interest. They are not just interested in some certain decision, and this could slow down the activities of the cooperative. Now, how do you start such cooperative? The first thing you need to do is to establish a steering committee. You appoint some people that are going to help you steer the affair. If you are 50 in number, you are 100 in number, the whole of the 100 cannot just be at the helms of affair. Somebody must be there. So what do you now need to do? You set up a committee. That is why you have a chairman, you have treasurer, you have this, you have that. Fine. But they have to do some work. They are going to set up the process of what you need to do. Now, having done that, you have to develop a business plan. Create a business plan and recruit more members if need be. Because in the process of creating your business plan, you might discover there are needs. You might have some needs, cooperative, that will help you drive it. And the business plan will be in the interest of everyone. Remember, all of you must have a common interest. All of you must be thinking the same way. So on that ground, you will have a business plan that everybody will go the same way. Now, carry out feasibility study. Before you start putting in money, you have to carry out feasibility. In terms of securing financing, you can come together now, like this loan you are applying, body, one body. You can apply for such loan and to do it. And they know that they are giving it to be held responsible. So the body
network challenges. Please, we apologize for the up on her network, please. Just bear with us. Please just bear with us. She's trying to come back online. Okay, she's here now. Please unmute yourself, ma'am. Unmute yourself, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry, I don't know what is happening today. All the networks are failing. Now, are you not hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
The networks are all having issues here. Sorry about that. Now, like I was saying, you need to prepare your draft, the article of incorporation and the bylaw. It is the bylaw that is like your constitution. That constitution, because in every state, that we ensure that you must link up with the state cooperative. In every state, you have people that manage all the cooperatives that are set up. So they could equally help you manage it. But remember, in the bylaw, you are going to now spell out the purpose of that cooperative. This one is not the one you are coming to borrow 10 naira, you pay back this. No. Remember, you have a focus. The focus is strictly for business. All these are ready that you can't launch the cooperative. It's when all these are ready, that is when you go into the cooperative launch. So this is what you need to do when you are setting up your cooperative. Brother Agboyi said, do you mean cooperative? I don't know what you want to ask. It's not clear. We are talking about cooperative. I would not cooperative. This not cooperative. We are talking about cooperative. It's not corporation. This is cooperative. Like you have a cooperative society. As a business too, you come up and form a cooperative society that is strictly for business. This has nothing to do with corporation or cooperative. No. This is called that. Then questions and answer. I leave the floor open for you to ask questions before we go to the last, move on to the last part. Ask your questions, please. Test, chat it. The floor is open for questions. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure it's okay?
We can hear you.
Please just give me a moment while they are taking the question. Help me organize the question. I want to switch over. I think they have been able to fix the internet.
Okay, ma'am.
How did you not fix it?
I just check the IP address.
Okay, I'm back.
Yes, Mr. Lotson Abba is telling everyone, all the participants, that let them start a cooperative.
Okay. Is there any other one?
That's the only
Okay,
comment.
if there is no question, now let me continue.
Yes, ma'am. I think you have about 12 minutes now.
Now let's look at customer loyalty. Those distortion, we'll see how we manage it through. Now, the customer loyalty, I know that at the various group, the various facilitators try to speak on this, how you can have your buy-in of customer loyalty in the respective products you are into. Please, it's very, very vital. But there are things I will quickly rush through here. Customer loyalty and your brand loyalty. Now, for those of us that are into SME, is the customer loyal to you or is loyal to the brand of the good you are selling? This is key, because you have some people, they are not loyal to your business because your shop is just the one around there, no matter how dirty the shop is, because they have the kind of water they want to buy in your shop. They will just go buy the water. They are not loyal to you. They are loyal to the brand of water they are buying from you. And the moment another person open up selling that brand of water, you won't see them in your shop again. So we need to know whether your customer is loyal to you or is loyal to the brand of what you are selling. If you are selling car dealers, the same thing. For the person that is into car driving, somebody that mentioned Uber today, I know there are some customers, they like patronizing some kind of cars of Uber. They don't like riding on all kinds of Uber cars. So what is the brand? Is it the brand they are looking after or it is you? Now, customer loyalty, you have to come in. How will you be able to boost it? Most cases, if you have multiple purchasing power, what they can get from you at different ends. I know, again, one of the facilitators was mentioning how somebody can get to a barbering shop. Maybe in one place, you're going to spend 2,000 naira to cut your hair. Another place, you spend 500 naira. And even with that 2,000, some people still prefer to go there. Why? Probably because of the customer service they receive. So the customer is loyal to them. And it's likely where you would have paid 500, that person will even cut it better. So you must look for every way to retain your customer loyalty. Then offers. Once it's time for Christmas now, you see people giving discounts, giving offers, and so on. So you must look for a way. Maybe you discount, maybe at a point in time, you do small gift, you give out. That is the way you can buy in your customer loyalty. Now, you can look for a way to retain your customers as well, because it's always good for you to retain your customers. And in this regard, if you don't retain your customer, your business may not last. And that was why I said, I think was it 2 days ago in one of my topics, that when starting business, start it by yourself. Be there, monitor it, because your presence will be able to buy in your customer loyalty before you start leaving it for other people to drive for you. Now, drivers that can help maintain your customer loyalty, your marketing strategy, no time to go into detail, but you have all these things in your materials. Please go and read it. Communication, personal relationship, human resources. I'll quickly touch on human resources. In the area of human resources, be selective of who you employ into your business. Be selective. In the area of human resources, again, like I mentioned that day, create a motivating factor for those that are helping you in your business. And again, what you do in their presence to your customers matters a lot. There are times they learn from you as well. So the way you relate with your customer, the personal relationship with your customer, it matters a lot. It's not too much. If you have not seen a customer coming to your shop after a while, you just send a text. Oh, we've not seen you for a while. We are missing you. Even the banks, they do this. You see banks, if you have not banked with them for some time, you've been having an account there, maybe suddenly you have not been dropping money there, you will start receiving messages, because that is the way they want to retain their customer loyalty. So at this point, I want to stop here.